Hello, musties and Patreon subscribers. We are here with a must-have Boo or Now TV. Just, casual hangout, talking about other things we're watching. And I really should have put more thought into this because it's Halloween in October. So I'm like, I gotta do spooky stuff. We'll figure that out. So,
I can't think of anything particularly spooky that I'm doing at the moment, other than, just wearing my usual horror movie t-shirts. I'm showing everybody the Amityville
Amityville.
shirt that I'm wearing right now.
And I'm wearing my Joe Jesco Mr. Sinister t-shirt because Mr. Sinister is basically Marvel Dracula that isn't the Marvel Dracula.
I think they defanged the Marvel Dracula quite a bit. They made
The which
him,
which one?
well,
They made both of them very silly,
they made Tomb of Dracula, which was a great series. It was the
which
series,
I am reading right now.
the 70s series, where, he's creepy. It's got the great Gene Colan art. It's
Yeah.
dark. And now he is blonde haired,
He looks like a
pale.
supervillain. He just like he's
Yeah,
wearing like the brand he is kind of wearing like the Bram Stoker red armor a little bit.
but it's
But
not exciting. It's
no,
not.
he's a generic supervillain now.
I did
And
see something that said that Dracula lives in a castle not because he's a vampire, but because he's a count and could afford a castle. So
Ah,
all vampires don't live in castles,
yeah, that's a
just
key
Dracula.
character.
Yes. Like if
Um,
if like a stagehand was like the prototypical vampire, we'd all think that vampires live in theaters,
hmm,
but they don't.
true. But all
Ooh.
phantoms do live in operas. Ethan, what are you watching right now?
The thing that I'm watching and the thing that I am enjoying are very linked. We're recording this on October 3rd, 2024. Two episodes of HBO Max's The Penguin
Oh
have
yeah.
have released so far. Really enjoying the series. It has so little to do with Batman, but it is also so good. If you had called him, you know, Joe Peabody and made him look exactly the same, sound exactly the same, and take out the like one reference to the Riddler, it would just be a crime show.
Hey, and does he is he gay? I saw the gays tweeting something about Penguin being an ally. Like he like walks past some like street walkers or like
I mean,
some
yeah, he hangs
ladies
he
of the
hang
night.
yeah, he hangs around with sex workers. They're
Yeah,
they're
okay.
not just, you know, someone he hires, they're his friends. He invites them over to a party that he's just having to have a good time. He's like, these are my friends. But it's Colin Farrell is phenomenal. You don't believe it's him.
Strange.
Uh, it is very enjoyable. I really want to see where it's going. But if you're thinking that it's going to be the new Gotham TV
Yeah,
show,
because that
no, it's a crime show that tangentially takes place in the Batman universe, but it's really good. Dialogue
Ah,
good, action good, a lot of double
yeah,
crosses, a lot of like gangsta thingies.
I
So
need to watch it.
two
Hard.
episodes so
Yeah,
far.
I'll get into it. Well, but then this is Halloween month, so I need to be watching spooky stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, spooky stuff's happening. What are you watching?
I'm watching something very scary, which is the Frasier revival on Paramount Plus. No, I mean, it started season two. I watched the first like two episodes back when they premiered last year. And so I was like, I don't know, let me just put on the rest of season one. And it just makes me so angry.
Oh,
Just makes me so angry that I don't understand why it is hard to make a good multicam sitcom. Like, what it's especially egregious with Frasier because Frasier was so not avant-garde, but like so very highbrow in its lowbrowness and very like for a multi-camera sitcom, like impeccable writing, great timing, fantastic physical comedy, etc. And also like original, like joke structures and like references, and it almost felt like Mystery Science Theater in that way, where like Mystery Science Theater would never not do a joke because it was too niche. You
Oh
know, like
yeah.
they would always like it doesn't matter if this is a local reference to Kansas or whatever, we're gonna still gonna do it. Whereas like Frasier also would make jokes about things that are like you don't hear jokes about operas on NBC.
Yeah.
So what drives me crazy is that the humor in the new Frasier is all very let me see if this conveys it. Uh he's standing right behind me, isn't he?
Oh.
Like just the tropes, the just everything is like so like here's another example of that kind of thing like that I'm sick of. And I'll use a Friends one or whatever, but it's when you say something like, "Oh, and don't forget the time that Ethan like left his keys in a roller coaster. You know I lose things because of my memory deficiencies." You know, like that
Oh.
that structure of like situation and then person says, "Oh, you know I had swollen glands," or like, "You know that I don't do well in public speaking." It's like the whole like, "You
Oh.
know I do well," like that structure of things.
And that it I'm gonna guess that keeps happening again and again and again.
Just over and
That's just the
over of just
writing.
the same exact kind of jokes. Like there was one where so in the reboot in the revival, Frasier has moved back to Boston. He's a guest lecturer at like Harvard now. He is living with his son Freddie, who is much more like Frasier's dad, Martin, because he's a firefighter, and
Okay.
so he has Frasier's intellect, but the blue collar affinity of his of of Marty. So
Fair enough. Okay, I'll
um
take it.
and there was just like one scene where I can't remember the exact circumstances, but the entire joke setup was something like, oh, it was Frasier's friend who is like a dean or something. I don't know. She was like, oh, you can do so and so, but I personally can't do that because it would cross the line. So I'm gonna leave my iPad just right here open to the page and I'm just gonna walk away. And then Frasier being like, "Oh, come on now, you can help me out. That's why I'm leaving my iPad. I can't help you, but I'm leaving it right here." Well, this is
Yeah.
just ridiculous. It's preposterous. It's like, oh my God. Like,
Oh, we've all been through that joke
it's like
before.
that it's just drives me crazy hearing recycled
So
jokes. But
why
I'm
are
gonna
you
watch all of it.
watching it? Why are you watching it?
Cause oh, and I haven't gotten into just like the lighting on multicam sitcoms now is just so terrible. It's just so terrible.
Why are you
Cheers
watching it?
looks great. It should not be impossible to make a new show that looks like Cheers, that looks like warm and filmic and cozy and also real and earnest
If
instead of
you're
just like we're on a stage being blasted with. Okay, hold on. Let me look at
Brett,
me.
you're no one is
I'm
forcing
on a
you.
multicam sitcom.
You're extremely washed out right now because the
Yeah,
light
exactly.
is no one is forcing you to watch this,
I am.
dude. Megan and I
I mean,
started Megan and I watched the first episode of Grotesquerie, which is the new series by the guy who did American Horror Story. And we
is it
watched it.
Wait, Ryan Murphy?
I think so.
What? Wait, what network is that on? Because I keep
FX.
seeing.
It's on
Okay.
FX. And we're like, "Oh, this is a lot of murder. It's a little weird." And we said, "You know what? We probably don't need to keep watching this." And we look, my new philosophy for life is if it sucks, hit the bricks. And I talked to my therapist about it today, and I talked to my therapist about it last week, and we both agreed that seems to be a pretty good way to address situations. If it
I guess
sucks, hit the bricks.
I have a sick attachment and interest in the medium of multi-camera sitcoms, clearly. And so there's the part of me that's just like I just like keeping up to date on some of them. I don't know. It's like how I did quit reading Uncanny X-Men for a while, so I can't even use that comparison.
Yeah. And I understand your affinity, but There's other stuff to watch. You're telling me that you haven't watched The Penguin, and yet you're dragging yourself through broken
But
glass to watch Frasier.
I can't be on Blue Sky while watching The Penguin. I can while watching Frasier. I could just put that on. It's either that or MSNBC 24/7. Oh
Don't
well.
do that.
What?
Not,
That's what
no.
I'm doing, and baby, I'm loving it. Especially, ooh, baby, Jack Smith, give me all the goods, honey. Ooh, doggies. That is so. I got so excited yesterday when because I was watching it when it broke, and I got so excited that I had to stand up and take a walk.
Oh,
When they were like, at one point, a Trump aide was quoted as saying, "Make them riot," and I'm like, "Oh, baby, this is just a box of smoking guns, and it's so
well,
delicious."
I just a fun little thing. About an hour ago, I found out that my congressman, Mike Lawler, did blackface in 2006 when he dressed up as Michael Jackson in college as a Halloween costume. New York Times just broke the story. He's my congressman. I get a
Great.
lot of targeted Hulu ads about him.
Also, it's really I don't know how to take this or how anyone will take this, but like Michael Jackson, like if you're a white person and want to be Michael Jackson for Halloween, there's a good half of his career that you can easily pull from without having to do blackface.
He said it was a tribute to his favorite performer, and he did not even consider blackface when he was doing blackface. So
It
anyway,
was
what
a different time. That still doesn't excuse
2006? Hey,
it.
what are you enjoying aside from Frasier? That's not a television show.
Well, I I have also watched I watched the two Venom movies in the past week and on the tip of just wanting to test out garbage. Which are insane, but they did get me to I don't know anything about the symbiote corner of the Marvel universe. So through the glory of Marvel Unlimited, I have now read all of Venom's appearances up through Carnage's first appearance and then Carnage's first appearance story arc. And I'm now on to Venom's first solo limited series. So I've
Lethal
read
Weapon.
all of that. I haven't gotten to Maximum Carnage yet, which I have owned for 30 years and never read.
It's quite nice. They do pile a lot of
Oh
characters on.
yeah.
Everybody shows up for like a issue or two. Um,
We got, Cloak, Dagger, Shriek, Iron Fist, the
Morbius, Firestar,
Demogoblin.
Demogoblin. I just got Demogoblin's first appearance. A couple.
Oh.
My
He
whole.
was originally a hobgoblin, right?
He was a hobgoblin
Yeah.
and he made a deal with the devil.
Yeah, can't do that.
But he first appeared in Web of Spider-Man, and I've been trying probably for the past 2 or 3 years to get all the Web of Spider-Man. It's not hard to do. They're pretty
See,
cheap.
I'm now, yeah, so it's been interesting because Venom debuted under Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, I'm Dave Michelini.
Yeah, and then the art goes to Eric Larson and then
Mhm.
now Bagley. So it is interesting getting to see like three definitive Spider artists back to back to back. Um and I gotta say, Eric Larson is leaps and bounds better than Todd McFarlane.
Um,
Is that a hot take? I think
that
Todd
is a hot take.
McFarlane, I don't know. I think Todd McFarlane drawing pinups and like covers is good. I think that his a
His panel
story
work.
demands that sometimes you draw cab drivers or news reporters or just things that aren't chain covered demons from hell. And so I think that he struggles in those departments.
I mean, my hot take for Eric Larson was he was really good with his Amazing Spider-Man run.
Yes, yeah,
And
it's
I
really
think
good.
and I think when he first started to do his image work, he brought a lot of that over. And I just picked up the latest issue of Savage Dragon because I have a little side collection of Disney appearances in comic books. And
Oh,
since Mickey Mouse went public domain, they have a Mickey Mouse character in the latest issue or a month ago, latest issue of Savage Dragon. And I got to enjoy awful art. It is
oh,
X
he's not gotten better.
it's not hard R. It is X rated. There
Oh, whoa.
are there are it's genitals. They're
Mickey
there.
genitals?
No, not Mickey. No, Mickey wants to assault somebody who is naked and in very open, drawn
This
ways. It's
See,
very
this
disturbing.
is I don't know. This is where I worry that I might become conservative or whatever. Because part of me is like, I think copyright laws are good
The
in
thing
terms
about
of
it,
I don't know. Because I'm just like I don't know. Do we need like Mickey porn now just because he's in the public domain? I don't know.
okay, here's my thing about that. Here's my take on this. It is super easy to take a wholesome character that has gone public domain like Mickey Mouse, and I'm gonna do a horror movie.
Like
He's
those
a
Winnie the
slasher.
Pooh movies.
Winnie the Pooh. He's gonna slash people, or he's gonna be like a sexual predator, like in Savage Dragon. Do you know what you should be doing? Take Mickey Mouse and do a kids cartoon. Do something
Yeah,
educational. You will
yeah.
make money on that. You
Do
will
a
get a following on
do
that.
something good.
Do something that's not the low-hanging fruit.
Because it is easy. It is 100% easier to do a Tigger slasher movie or whatever.
Yeah,
But it is hard to go back and figure out like if X-Men entered the public domain, it'd be easy just to make X-Men porn all over it again. But to
yeah,
actually for someone to be like, what is the essence of this larger than life franchise for me, when I distill my love down to it, how does that work and you apply things like the
yeah.
modern DuckTales and stuff like that
Right.
are more in line with what I think like smart creators should do with public domain stuff, maybe.
Yeah. Don't go for the easy, gory win. Make something actually worthwhile, and you will gain so much more. It's harder to
Gain
do.
so many smiles.
Gain smiles instead of, oh, isn't that cool? Like,
Uh, so is
you have
Savage Dragon
children's
what you're
cartoon
reading?
characters. No, well, the stuff that I'm reading now it ties in with the Penguin show. Tom King and Rafael de la Torre uh, did a 12 issue Penguin series for DC Comics, which is some really just interesting writing.
Oh,
Uh, in the comics, in regular Batman continuity, Batman has killed the Penguin, or he thinks he does. It's a way for Penguin to be like, I'm out of here. I'm going to take back control of my life. I'm just going to peace out. His awful children are take over his crime
Penguin?
empire.
Burgess
Penguin's
Meredith had kids?
not only in but he has kids separate from the wife that he has in this series. He has a wife in this series, and it is this penguin who's like, I thought I was out, but they pull me back in, and it's him taking over and redefining why the penguin is an engaging, cool character. Where he's not just, oh, I'm wearing a top hat and I got umbrellas. It's like, no, this is a person that should actually be feared and respected in the DC universe rather than the Penguin from Batman 66.
Which is my favorite. Like, which is well,
Burgess Meredith did a fine job. I will
I love that
say
penguin. I
that
mean, of course,
forever.
it's a dapper supervillain. Like, I'm absolutely gonna want
Yeah. Well, they have a dapper supervillain in this with a character called the Help. He's like the
it.
butler to supervillains. It's really good. So the 12 issues are out. I think the last issue came out maybe a month or two ago, maybe not even that much. But the trade paperback, I believe, just got solicited this month. So in the next couple
Mm.
of months, next 6 months or so, check out the entire collection of The Penguin by Tom King. It is really good comics, really well
Penguin
written.
Palooza.
Tom King's one of my favorite writers now. He's just really, really smart.
So this means that Colin Farrell and Paul Williams have played the same character.
Yes. 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 We can say that
Indeed.
John
Indeed.
Astin and Paul Dano played the same character.
Oh yeah.
And John
Uh,
Glover. You can say John Glover and John Astin both played the Riddler.
good.
I
So
love
good.
John Glover. He's great.
Uh, well, that is everything that we are doing outside of the pod. And now let's do the pod. Thank you so much for listening and
And
subscribing.
subscribing on the Patreons.
And
We're
keep a
glad to be
lookout because we really should do like a Poland Halloween something or other.
back.
Um, because it's the best thing in the world. Uh, keep it spooky, y'all.
Talk to you soon.
Uh,